What is happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back to talk a little transfers and some important restructuring behind the scenes at Elland Road. Something that I've called for and has come to fruition, which is great news. I think it's going to be great news going forward in the future. I do. Before I get into it, you know the drill, people. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and of course, drop your comments below. Thank you to Mr. P for the super thanks on the last video, and thank you to all existing members. Really does go a long way. And if you want to become a member of the channel, the membership link is in the description. So, you know what? We're not going to hang around today. I'm just going to get through this, give my points on Jack Harrison, the medical team. And you know what? Let's start off with Max Verber, because Max Verber is not in the starting lineup for Austria after the disaster class against France. So Max Verber, if we're going to see him, it's going to be from the bench. He's lost this place, and that kind of takes him a little out the shop window in my eyes. You know, and the last performance being what it wasn't a great one. I think obviously scouts take a long-term view over it. It's not just going to be based on one game, but Max Verber has lost this spot in the Austria team for today's game. See how he gets on, if he gets on at all. But there you go, Max Verber, who's still currently our player. His future, by the way, won't be decided until after the Euros for Austria. So we're just going to have to wait and see when it comes to Max Verber, if he's going to stay or not. Daryl saying, yes, KG, hope you're well on this beautiful day. I'm good, man. Listen, I've just come back from outside, man. I was watching Bad Boys 4 or Bad Boys Ride or Die. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. I wasn't a fan of the third one, quite frankly, because they killed the captain. Spoiler alert, but you know, Bad Boys 3 is a couple years old now. But yeah, and I haven't been able to watch it since. You know, I love 1 and 2. I probably will never watch the third one again. This one, number 4, I'm definitely going to watch again. So entertaining, and yeah, back to the return to form for me. Brilliant movie. So I had a good day, man. It was warm outside, which isn't my favorite. You know, I don't like being hot, but I managed it well. People had a nice iced coffee, and I was good. I was good for the day. Callum saying, any incomings at this point? Callum, no. And I think it's going to be in regards to what we've said previously, in that the PSR period 30th of June. That's why I'm okay at the minute, Callum, and everyone else. I'm still okay. I'm still at that point. If I change, I will let you know. But at this point in time, I'm very calm about the incomings. I've seen the list of what we're out to get. I do think that business will start to pick up after the 1st of July. So maybe that's when we'll kick in, get incomings. But what's going to help that, Callum, is the departure of Jack Harrison, because obviously the wages that we're getting rid of in terms of Jack Harrison going back out on loan will be reinvested into the squad. And Fabrizio confirming this. We've known about this for a couple of days, but Jack Harrison back to Everton from Leeds United. Here we go, which means it's done. Deal done, as the two clubs are exchanging documents right now. Loan move for Harrison to Everton, back to the club. Yeah, and listen, someone asked, there is no obligation to buy on this. It's just a straight up loan, no loan deal, no loan fee. Everton are paying all the wages, so we're off the hook for Jack Harrison, which is great news. We did not need Jack Harrison back at the club. And listen, when we go up next season, and I said when, feeling aggressive today, let's go. When we go up, we can then look to sell him on, because I don't think when we're back in the Prem, he's not going to have this loan clause anymore. And we will be back with a strong hand again, which is where we need to be. But yeah, I've got no qualms about this. Good, you know, I've seen Everton fans talking about Jack Harrison. I can't believe this. I know he's going to be, you know, just on loan, but can we not get anybody better? You know, and one of them was, it was like watching, it was like watching or reading some of the past comments from us as fans. Yeah, he turns up in one game, but then he'll go missing for 3. I mean, they're lucky that it's 3. Usually for us, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. So, you know, it's just, you know what you're getting with Jack Harrison. But look, he's going to be gone. That means there's more wages to play with in terms of us. And I want in those wages to be moved. I want us to get a loan player or 2. I want us to get 2 loan players, because we need to fill up this squad. And it's not going to all be purchases. And I mean, that's pretty obvious. We're going to need to utilize the loan market and utilize it well. And I think we will. Ed in the house, shout out to you, Ed. Just finished watching yesterday's stream and get to enjoy another one. Hello, KG. Yeah, was it yesterday? It was probably the day before, Ed. I don't think I recorded anything yesterday. But yeah, shout out to you, man. Shout out for the support as always. And you, Carl, man. Thank you for the super chat, Carl. Much appreciated, my man. Thanks, KG. Thank you, Carl. Seriously. Paul Gray saying, hot and cold Harrison, why didn't we cash in like Rads wanted to? Because he He got easily influenced, man. Victor Orta got in his ear, probably, and there was other sources as well. There was other people in the background, but ultimately, Andrea was the one that signed everything off. And there's many decisions why we are where we're back, where we are right now in the championship. One of them is Unai Emery was there before the World Cup. I'm sure he would have taken the job. And then the other one, is, of course, is Harrison, 25 million to Leicester. He was there. The medical was being, prepared, and we pulled the plug on it, man. But listen, this is the new ownership, clean slate, and we go forward. That's how I look at it. Jack saying he's the football equivalent to plain chicken breast and white rice. Yeah, man. Gareth Southgate stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Gareth Southgate. I've seen all the memes and stuff with Southgate. He orders his Nando's plain and all that. Yeah, it's mad. It's all mad. But yeah, Jack Harrison, he's listen, and this is no shade on him, because I was talking this guy up when we first got him. I was a big advocate of Jack Harrison, but we're talking about when he was 22, 23, and you're thinking, you know what, he's got another level to go. You see the way he plays. If he can just get some consistency in his game, he could probably play for England. But he's been the same player he's been for the last 3 years, and it's not going to get any better. He's going to be 28 this season. He hasn't got another level to go. So goodbye, good riddance in all that. Darren here saying Rob Price got relegated. Bobby saying thank God Rob Price has gone. Let's get onto that. Let's get onto that. Let me just cross off a few of these things. Got a few things here. Here we go. Because actually, it was one of my subscribers that gave me the message about Rob Price. They asked me if I had the lottery numbers, because they've been enjoying Strakosha in goal for Albania, who once again, just a wish for me, would be a great loan if he was willing to drop down to the championship, sell Melier, get even more money in to strengthen the rest of the team. Meanwhile, strengthening your goalkeeper spot as well just makes all the sense. But yeah, Strakosha has been brilliant for Albania. But you also said about Rob Price being gone, and I was out obviously, and I look on the timeline and see he's gone. And this is brilliant news, people. Really, it really is brilliant news in terms of Rob Price going, because I've questioned this for so long, and it's something that I said at the end of the season, in the end of season review, or close to that time. But I said Leeds United need to look at everything at the football club, whether it's player personnel, but also the behind the scenes team. They have to, because the medical team, even though people won't think it's a big deal, it's huge. It's a massive part of the football club. Your medical team literally can tell you if a player is ready to go. They sign them off. They can treat them. They are important. They're integral to the team of Leeds United. They're very important. And I just feel over the last few years, I feel that this move should have been done 2-3 years ago, because just the misdiagnosis, the way that the players take a long time to come back when it seems to be minor injuries, it hasn't sat right with me. And then this season, if we want to talk about this season alone, whether it's Pascal Strauch, the hamstring injury coming back so soon, it's this man here, Rob Price. He will sign off on it. He's the head of medicine here. I think he's now gone to Derby. You know what? Let's read the story, shall we, together? This is on the official Leeds United website from that link. Let me just quickly read it. It's not a long one, people. Leeds United can confirm Rob Price has left his role at the club to pursue a new career opportunity, which will be at Derby County. Price has been an integral part of the backroom staff at Leeds United for the past 6 seasons, having officially taken on the role of head of medicine and performance in the summer of 2018. Angus Kinnear says, on behalf of everyone at the club, I would like to thank Rob for his commitment and dedication to Leeds United, especially during the challenges of the pandemic in the 1920 season. We all have great respect and appreciation for Rob, and naturally we're disappointed to see him leave the club, but we wish him every success in the future. Now, that's cool and everything, but I do think, but this was long overdue, and I do think that there's, if they really wanted to keep him, are we saying that Derby's a more attractive proposal? Maybe Derby will pay more money, but I think Leeds United could have paid him what he was probably being offered at Derby and more. But I think everybody agrees at Leeds United that it's just been time for a change. And these are the kind of moves that I'm so glad to see. I'm delighted to see by Red Bull and 49ers, I should say. Don't want to get anyone mad. Don't want to get anyone mad. It's 49ers Enterprises. But these are the kind of moves that you need to make. Enough with this Rob Price guy. We talk about before. I mean, look, give him his props. I thought Adam Forshaw was done. I thought he was absolutely done. Thought he was looking to retire or due to retire, and they did well to get him back on. Now, I mean, it was a downside for Leeds United because it means that we had the heat map merchant on the pitch, making everyone think he was a Premier League player, which he wasn't. But in terms of Adam Forshaw, he extended his career, so full credit for that. But when you talk about some of the misdiagnoses that we've had, talked about Pascal Strout with the hamstring, should never have been back that soon, people. Should never have signed him off that quickly. Then we end up losing Strout for the season. Another one, Jorginho, a hernia operation, people, minor or not, is a big deal. And he basically came back straight after the international break. That's insane to me. And I just feel like if you get somebody from the outside now, somebody who the 49ers are going to bring in, this will now be a case of maybe the medical staff will be a bit stronger and say, no, the player's not ready. Maybe he just, was in the fabric for so long, like I say, 2018, that he just felt, okay, I'll try and do my best, get this player back on. I swear there was another injury as well, people. I'm sure there was another injury in terms of this season. Maybe I'm forgetting, but I just feel this is great news, great news. And what I want as well, people, in the future is I don't want to know too much about the medical staff. I feel like we saw this guy. He was getting features in articles on the Leeds United website. I feel like we saw too much of this guy. No one should really know at their football club who's the head of medical. Or if you hear it, it should be on the announcement that will be coming up for the new staff. But I don't think we should be hearing about them through seasons. I don't. So I'm not saying his celebrity, loosely celebrity took over, but we shouldn't be hearing about Rob Price at the football club. We shouldn't. So yeah, Derby. Bobby saying Derby having an injury crisis is basically a given now. Yeah, and I mean all those ones as well where they're only going to be out for a couple of weeks, which then turns into months. We even think about the Patrick Bamford one. I do think the Bamford one is in between his ears more than anything, but going on the basis of it being called a bruise and it ends up being strained ligaments. Yeah, enough with that. And I said this at the time, enough with this. It's time to move on. And thankfully, this football club has gone out of the sentimental ways of thinking for the most part and is being, brutal, being ruthless. This is what I've called for. A lot of fans won't like it. They probably have an attachment to Rob Price, probably reminds them of the Bielsa era. Nah, enough. Move on. And I'm sure whoever they're getting will be fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean, people, that the future medical team will get everything right, but it needs to be more accurate than what this guy did this year alone. Never mind previous season, this season alone. I don't agree as well with people saying about Stuart Dallas. Stuart Dallas, I think people forget, or maybe it's because he's retired now, that people forget just how brain dead Stuart Dallas's tackle was on Grealish. It was stupid. Because if you remember the lead up to that game to Man City, we was being called a bit soft. Jesse Marsh was calling the players a little bit soft, and maybe Stuart Dallas was overcompensating. But Stuart Dallas at that time as well, I don't forget any of these people. He was getting a pass because Junior Firpo was so bad, but Stuart Dallas stunk that season. He was getting rinsed on the left, the right, and that tackle he did on Grealish, it was a career ender for him. So I don't give Rob Price too much, you know, stick for that, because it was a bad challenge and it was going to take a lot at that stage of Stuart Dallas's career to come back. So I don't put that one on him. But the other minor ones, the other ones that he could have done a bit better and not made the players come back so quick, no, that's enough. That's enough. Let's get rid of bench Walker Cooper too. Yeah, I couldn't find many pictures with Rob Price in them, so I just used that one with Cooper going off. So there you go, people. That's why that's the thumbnail. Yeah, direct. A lot of our goals were over the top of Dallas. There was just so many times that season direct in that year, and Dallas was brilliant for us before. But again, I've got to say that sorry, not that I'm not going to say the word, that pandemic year, I put a big old asterisk next to it. I barely count it, people. I've got to be honest with you. It was fun. It was nice for the time, but you saw that it wasn't real football. It wasn't. There was so many things, not just at our football club, but at others where things affected it. It wasn't real football, man. And Dallas, he was brilliant. I'm not taking that away from him. But that year in particular, where he got the injury, he sucked, man. He was bad. But because Junior Firpo was there and Junior Firpo really stood out like a sore thumb, he was getting away with it. But not from me. I was saying it on all my match reaction. I said, Dallas has played poorly today. He's been really bad. People are getting around him easy, where that wasn't the case before. But yeah, shout out to Stuart Dallas, still overall brilliant player for us. So I'm not going to take that away from him. But it was a ridiculous tackle. Katrina saying finished his career with that tackle. Let's be honest, it was a career ender. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, somebody just put brilliant there. It was a brain dead tackle. Didn't need to do it. And if you go back and watch it, there was no need. Grealish wasn't going anywhere, and he just clattered into him. It was stupid, stupid. I'm sure no one regrets that more than Stuart Dallas himself. So it is what it is in terms of that. Jack here, yeah, and we'll move on from this now because, like I said, I don't want to go too long today. Seems like it's been jobs for the boys at this club for a long time. I like what the 49ers are doing. Jack, that's perfect. Perfectly put. It has been that too long. The comfortability at this football club during the Radrizzani years, it was frustrating the hell out of me. And you guys know it. People that have been here for a few years will know it was getting on my nerves too much. It was like no matter what certain people did, they got away with it. No matter how poorly they played, they get away with it. And they'd just be here. No matter that we needed upgrades in those positions, whether it be on the pitch or behind the scenes, they just stayed. It was just too comfortable at this football club. I'm glad that the 49ers are making moves like this and are getting the best people in for the jobs. Now, listen, for the people that are going to say Farker's still here, I hear you, but I'm just saying in general, okay, in general, people, they are getting out that comfortability, making people actually do the job. And it's like Parag said when he first took over, when the takeover was first announced, if somebody's not doing the job properly, we'll get in somebody to do that job better. Again, no Farker jokes, people, please. I know Chris King. I don't know if Chris King is still here, but Chris is very disappointed that Steve Cooper is at Leicester City. But it is what it is. Steve Cooper was touted for a Premier League job, and he's there. Yeah, Leeds here. Angus Kinnear needs to go too. Bobby repeating that. Yeah, I absolutely hear that, Bobby, and everything else. And you even saw with Angus Kinnear on that square ball interview from last season. People can read through BS, and there was a lot of BS in that one, more than usual. There was a lot of it. And maybe and look, no, I don't blame him because he was trying to protect his position. He probably wants to stay here. It's probably a comfy job for him here. But there was just so much rubbish. And the one that sticks out in my head the most, and there's probably more, is that we were scouting Jaden Anthony from July. What a load of tosh. Jaden Anthony was getting ready to play the game the next day. He's at the hotel ready to play for Bournemouth the next day. We weren't looking at Jaden Anthony from July. What a load of rubbish. But there was more. There was more in that interview. But Angus seems to be very comfortable here. I think the 49ers probably see him as that buffer from Andrea to the 49ers. So maybe there's some trust there. You got to think of it in those kind of terms. But again, if Angus isn't doing his job properly, maybe they'll look to move him on in time. But this is one that is definitely needed. I'm happy with this, and hopefully we'll have a much better. We will get injuries, people, but hopefully they'll be managed better in the future. Oybab saying Angus gives me snaky ratty vibes. Well, I mean he's a CEO, isn't he? I mean those people, they usually like that, aren't they? Butt kissing or ha 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 to the higher ups, even if the joke's not funny. They'll laugh their way to the top. I think we've all seen them in jobs, and especially if you worked in an office, you would have seen that person. You're so funny. And they're always getting promoted and stuff. Meanwhile, you're working hard and you don't get nothing because you don't laugh at the jokes or you don't go on the nights out with the work. We've all seen these kind of people. But look, shout out to him. You get it how you get it. That's the way I see it. Tom saying, KG, do you realistically Tom, do you let me start again. Tom saying, KG, do you realistically see us getting another number one keeper? Sadly, I don't. I don't, Tom, and that's only by the list that I read out on here before. From the list that we've sent to a South American agent in the positions we're looking for, goalkeeper wasn't on there. So at this point, Tom, unless anything changes with Meslier, I expect him to be here. The only reason why I keep mentioning it, Tom, is because you've got it's a layup in selling Meslier, and you get Rodak on a free. You're getting money in that you can strengthen in other areas. I've mentioned Strakosha before. I think Brentford would be willing to loan him out because he's not being used there. You sell Melia, you get Strakosha on loan. And in both cases, by the way, Tom and everyone else, you're upgrading your goalkeeper. You're 100% upgrading the goalkeeper with those two alone, with those two names alone. So you're getting better in your goalkeeper. I just feel that maybe Daniel Farr could trust him at this point, and we'll be looking to use him next season. But there is no goalkeeper on the list that I've got. I haven't messaged my guy to see if it's been updated, but that was the list that was sent out. And goalkeeper and striker is not on the list, people. So I'm not even thinking about a new goalkeeper coming in. I'm just putting out wishful thinking. So that's just me talking. That's it. Darren saying Farker and Southgate are both crap, both tactically out of their depth. Yeah, listen, you know what? I've been talking about the Euros restoring the feeling, people, and the Euros has been brilliant overall. The games that have sucked, though, England have been involved in two of them, and it's no surprise, is it? But England have always been this way, though. I don't think it's just a Southgate thing. England have been a tough watch for a while. Like I say, I've got no skin in the game when it comes to England. But yeah, the game yesterday, boy, oh boy, that was a tough watch. The goal by Denmark was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. He smacked that like Akon. But yeah, the game in general, there are similarities to Leeds. It seems like they pass around the middle to the back to Jordan Pickford, pass, and there's hardly any penetration up front. It is very similar. I give you that, Darren. Very, very similar. Uh, Nidar saying a full club overhaul is really is necessary. We need to shake our loser tag Man City style. Yeah. Listen, there'll be more changes. I believe that there'll be more internal changes. Well, Nidar, I think it just comes in time. And listen, we'll see what happens after July. But this is a brilliant start for me. Absolutely brilliant. Tom saying, want to see Farker and Southgate doing carpool karaoke. Ooh. Oh man. But yeah, so there's Rob Price. One other thing before I go, I just want to share this one because this was a defender that I was going to be looking at if we got promoted, which obviously we didn't. But Max Kilman, West Ham are looking at Max Kilman deal as he's strongly wanted by Lopetegui, who obviously managed him before. Maybe that's probably the relationship that's going to get it done. But Max Kilman was on my list if we had gone up. So I just wanted to just point that one out. West Ham are obviously rebuilding with Lopetegui. And for me, Max Kilman is not only a leader on the pitch, but he is one fine defender. Not in that way, people, but he is a fine defender for Wolves. And I think Nathan Collins was seen as the stronger of the two, and obviously Nathan Collins moved to Brentford. But for me, Max Kilman has got so many levels to reach, and I'm surprised that he doesn't get England shouts. In all fairness, I think he's really, really good. But yeah, he was one that I was thinking of if we went up to strengthen in the defensive areas. So I just thought it was very interesting that West Ham are going for him because he's going to be pretty good. Yeah, he's good, man. And yeah, Oybab, this is the thing. He's got it on the ball as well. He's got it all. Yeah, he's brilliant with the ball at his feet, which is obviously a very important part of the way we play. I just want to say, Lewis saying find him both ways. You know what? He is a good-looking chap. Let's be real. He's a good-looking chap, but I'm more about his ball playing skills on the pitch. I just want to say this as well. In terms of that, because we've been a lot of the discourse about Euros and Pep Guardiola being the evil of football. Just while I'm here, I just want to say it isn't Pep Guardiola that's the issue. His style of play is his style of play, and on all of those that come from that La Masia Barcelona system, that is their style. The problem is when other teams try and copy it and they don't have the players to do it, so it just looks laborious, it looks awkward, it looks robotic, it looks very system. You can see where the ball's going because the players aren't comfortable with it. So for me, because I'm a big Pep fan, but yes, sometimes the football that Man City play is tough to watch, but they're effective and they're going to get it done. The problem is the other teams that try and copy it. It'd be like if people were trying to copy Jurgen Klopp's system, that high line, and they don't have the players to it. It would be like us basically getting beat 6-0 every week back in the Premier League. You have to have the right players to play those kind of systems. And it's just a copycat nature, isn't it? They see it works for Pep Guardiola. So you know what? I'm going to do it. It's like I say about the Premier League during that period. There was a period of Premier League football where I couldn't watch it. I was watching La Liga. I was watching everything else because it was around the period where they tried to, press on like Eden Hazard was the best player in the world when he clearly wasn't. It was Ronaldo, it was Messi, and Gareth Bale. We had Eden Hazard in the Premier League, as the best player. And let's face it, he was a good player, good enough, decent player enough, I should say, good player. but he was nowhere near on the levels of those. But the Premier League was suffering because then it was around the period where people were praising Shane Long and all these kind of players. Oh yeah, he's a striker. He only scored 4 goals, but he just does so much for the team. Dead league. It was dead during that area. But then you see what Pep Guardiola does, people. He brings in Erling Haaland. So what does everyone do? Everyone wants a big number 9. You've seen Sesko being linked to all the top Premier League clubs this summer. He's staying at Leipzig for another year. But it's a copycat nature. When Pep was doing the false nine, how many other teams did you see doing the false nine? So it's not Pep Guardiola that's the problem. It's the copycat nature. So people need to do like Jurgen Klopp and just say, no, this is my style. I'm going to do it this way instead of trying to be Pep light and it just looking absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, the free nature of the Euros overall, barring the England games, has been so much fun to watch. People, ballers, especially the youngsters, just balling out, showing out. Arda Güler for Turkey, who everyone knows, I said about last summer before he moved to Madrid. He was another one like Max Kilman that if we got promoted or didn't get relegated, sorry, I should say at that time, I would have looked at Arda Güler, but obviously he went to Real Madrid, so no need for Leeds United. But this next gen, they're restoring the feeling for me. And long may it continue, man. Long may it continue, because these are my ballers, man. This is what I'm saying. Direct saying Schweinsteiger said what you're saying, KG, about the German team. What did he say, Direct? If you can type it quickly. I know maybe it was lengthy, Direct, so I don't want to keep you too long. But if you can summarize it, what did he say in regards to that? Lewis. Southgate is Pep from Audi. Tremendous. Oh man. Oh man, you guys, man. Funny, man. What a day. Darren here. Hope he's had a word with Joseph and told him he's the number 9 for the season. If not, I can see him going to Spain. Darren, at this point, and I don't have any like inside knowledge on it, of course, but I'm just saying that I feel like Joseph will be given the opportunities next season. I feel like he will. I feel like he will be one of the two, and I think Daniel Farker will see that he should be used more. And like I say to you, Darren, and everyone else, instead of thinking about Ellis Sims and all these kind of similar strikers, we've got one in our system already in Joseph. He's ready to be unleashed, people. He's ready to be unleashed, and I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see. We should have seen more of it last season, but that's been and gone. It's about looking at the future now and saying, okay, Joseph, you're here. Let's see what you got. And I think we're going to see it, Darren. I really do. Righteous one saying, well, I shop at Audi. Listen, man, shop where you shop, man. Wherever it's cheapest for you, and whatever works for you. We get stuff from Audi too, man. Sometimes there's better stuff in Audi and Lidl and all these places. Let's be real. But I don't know about you people. I'm going to tell, see if this relates to anyone. But remember back in the day with Audi when it wasn't as fashionable as it is these days. Audi and Netto. And if you was a bit younger there and you had to go with your mom and you didn't want to be seen by your friends at school and you was at the shops, you'd just be ducking. I'd be ducking, man. And if your mom's bringing bags, you say, just bring all the other bags so she don't have to get a Netto or Audi bag. Anyone remember those days? Oh boy, I was hiding, man. I was like, no, I don't want to be seen. No. Yeah, like Netto. Yeah, yeah. It was mad back in the day, like stupid things when you're little. When now as an adult, you're like, whatever's cheapest, we're getting. Whatever's the cheapest, we are getting. But back when you're a kid, all it is about rep, isn't it? It's about being a kid. It's like, oh no, I don't want to be seen with this and that. Yeah, boy. Hey, exactly. You take other bags. We used to have all these other bags, and I'd carry them. People, I'd be like, Mom, it's okay. I'll carry the bags. Don't worry. But then when you get to that, I remember one time, people, we went there and there wasn't enough bags, so we had to pick up one bright yellow Netto bag, and I was like, oh man, can we get a taxi, please? I thanks as a kid. Ridiculous stuff, man. Ridiculous. Oh boy. But yeah, yeah. Oh, we've gone on a tangent, people. Ridiculous. Hey, that's what I'm saying, Jack. You get rinsed in school if you got C with a farm foods. But see, farm foods wasn't so bad. That was like the B Tech Iceland, wasn't it? But I think farm foods was acceptable. But it was Audi, man. It was Audi and Netto. They were the killers for you. If you got seen with them, you get rinsed at school. It'd be a long day. I'll go off sick, man. I'll just say I'm not feeling well. Hopefully people forget, one of those. But thankfully we grow up, don't we, people? We grow up and we live and we learn. That's it. That's growth. That's growth. So yeah, people. I don't even know how we got onto that, but yeah, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you. Paul here saying peak Prem night was 90s and early 2000s because we were a top team in it, Premier League years. Yeah, I love that. I love that period, Paul. And even then, because I think people think because I watch the Premier League so much that I'm just Premier League centric, but that's not true. Because when it was the Shane Long era and all these guys and people trying to peddle Jordan Henderson as the best midfielder in the league, ugh. No, no, no. I'd be watching other. I'm a big League Earn fan, big, always been big on that. But I back in this period, Paul, I was a huge Serie A fan. Like I used to love watching Serie A football. And you think about all the players during that period, Paul. There was world-class players in nearly every team. Nearly every team had a top player. It was just brilliant football, man. Defenders defended, attackers had to be skillful to get past you. Just beautiful football, man. Just beautiful football. Direct saying Schweinsteiger comment stroller. Okay, let me scroll up, people. Okay, Direct saying, okay, he said that Pep style undermined natural style of German team. Yeah, you know what, Direct? I do remember him saying that, but it's true. He's telling the truth. He's not lying. Other people getting influenced by Pep. He was talking about, I think, as well, Direct, about the Bayern because he did it at Bayern Munich, and then all of a sudden the German national team tried to copy the Bayern Munich style, which was then Pep style, and it just doesn't work for everybody. It looks awkward if you don't know how to do it. It really does. Um, Righteous One with the super chat. Thank you, Righteous One. Neto, we all shopped at Neto. On the low, on the low. But yeah, listen, people. I think that is it, people. I think that is it. This was a great stream, though. Gotta say, this was a brilliant stream. I love it when it goes off on the tangent, man. We're just talking. I love that stuff. Any of the ice hockey fans as well that watch the stream, because I know there's a few of you. Hopefully, the Stanley Cup is awarded tonight, man. This Stanley Cup, this finals has been going on for far too long. Need this to end tonight. Need Florida to wrap this up against Edmonton. Take the cup back to Florida so we can see the Stanley Cup paraded around by Barkov, Kachuk, and all these guys, and just finish it, man. It's been draining, and it's a late night as well for me. You know, obviously for people that are in the UK watching American sports, we have to be up very, very, very late to watch them. So I need this to be done like tonight, please, please. Now, Lewis, I can't have that, man. Can't let this go to a game 7, mate. No, 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 no. Florida, wrap this up. Oh, Darren, have you watched Slapshot? Yeah, I haven't yet, Darren. I haven't yet. But Darren, if you haven't seen one with Sean, do you know Sean William Scott, who is Stifler in American Pie? Goon and Goon 2 are absolutely brilliant, man. Hilarious. Just brilliant films. So yeah, I am going to get onto Slapshot soon. I will. Mad Mix saying Pep wins, so there's nothing for people to whinge about. Yeah, listen, that's why it's copycat. It's the same in loads of sports. When something works, people copy it. But Pep's methods are Pep's methods. That's why he's the master. And no matter, like, say, Mikel Arteta, who's gotten close to Pep, Pep is always the master. It's that saying, isn't it, of the teacher may have taught the student, but there'll be things that the teacher hasn't given the student. So he knows more than what the student thinks that they know. So, you know, Pep is always going to be one step ahead. And I think people just need to go with a system that works for them and do it that way, because that makes football more interesting. Because we talk about it. The players today are nowhere near it. And you only have to look at companies like Adidas, Nike. They're always reaching back. Nike have literally just re-released the Brazil 98 shirt because they use all the legends, they use all the old things, because the football today is just not as good as it was back in the day. And that isn't like old man's, you know, shouting at the clouds, because I like a lot of modern stuff, but I'm telling you, the players today are not a patch on the ball as back in the 90s. Give me a player that's as good as Rui Costa, right? You know, back in the day. You can't. Shevchenko, Tati, you know, there's just so many. Dalminia, I'll give you a deep cut there. Dalminia back for Deportivo. Ballers all over the gaff. You know what I mean? But hey, listen, don't make me go into this bag. Don't want to get into this bag. Yeah, Righteous One saying, agree, there's a difference between knowing something and understanding something. 100%. Loomsy, great to catch you live, KG. Yeah, listen, it was a great one. It was a really good stream. If you've missed the bulk of it, all the information's in the first bit, talking about Aldi and Netos in the second half. But people, this was brilliant. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video before you go, and I will see you in the next one. Before you go, Boban, brilliant. Nedved, all these players. Oh boy, don't get me started. Listen, people, peace out. Be good, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.